Big worry, mate. Well done, mate. I promised Kevin I won't talk too long. Kevin's a man of few words, very direct and very blunt. So I'm honoured to be able to induct my friend Captain Cranky. Those of you who played against him or with him, or was in a bad mood, Kevin Krumers as a Shire's legend. I promise Kevin I won't talk too long. First of all, I'd like to thank the Croom family, his wife Patricia, daughter Amy, and yes, even you, Ryan, for letting us borrow Kevin at Georges River Cricket Club since 1984, I think. Kevin was part of what we were Bexley, became Canterbury Bexley and Georges River. So those of you who are old enough in the room may remember Bexley District Cricket Club. Personally, I first met Kevin playing locally in the Canterbury club, being on the end of many beltings with the bat from this skinny guy with quick feet and a mullet. Kevin, time hasn't done you any favours, mate. Kevin is the epitome of a true Clive and Sydney Shires man. Shows with many years of selfless work for our club, which started, as I said, as Bexley, Canterbury Bexley, and now Georges River. Just to give you an idea of his lengthy resume, he joined Bexley in season 1983-84. We only had 2 teams. Think about that. He joined the committee in season 1985-86, served as treasurer in 3 stints, 86 to 92, 93 to 96, and finally 2003 to 2009. He's been president since 2009, so that's the last 16 years, Kevin. So this has seen Kevin serve Georges River Cricket Club for over 40 years. I think that's a fucking amazing effort. And of course, he's a life member of that club. He's also played for the whole time. So think of that, when Kevin was young, fit, agile, to an old fat man like he is now. He's been a successful batsman who to date has tallied 9,312 runs. We won't speak about his bowling. He keeps trying to bowl on matches, but his bowling is just shit. This season, he was part of the Georges River Vintage Premiership winning competition. Some notable achievements for Kevin have been part of the joint committee. And those of you young enough to remember the Canterbury Club, when Canterbury and Bexley amalgamated in the mid-1990s, he was part of that group who joined that together. He's overseen our club from the current growth from 4 teams to 9. He was part of a successful grant application for turf practice wickets on Land Oval. He's seen the amazing growth in our finances from the days where we were scratching like for every cent at the end of the season, getting people to pay fees early so we had enough money to be particularly well off. So Kevin, to you, thank you for that. As been said, this game is all about relationships. So Kevin has built fantastic relationships with our 2 councils, being Bayside and Canterbury Bankstown Council. So much so, as you saw, Bexley Oval, 4th year in a row, Ground of the Year, and 8 times since 2013. The clubs continue to improving our performances, both on and off the field. He was Clubman of the Year in 2007-08 and 2012-13, and the Club Player of the Year award is named after him. Congratulations, Kevin, well deserved.
It's a Miss World Sweden. And the wrestling company.
Thank you, Bruce, for those kind words. To start off, I'd like to thank my club for the nomination for this wonderful award. As Viv said, joining a number of tremendous cricketers and those that have worked hard for Shires cricket. So, to the selection committee, this Legends, thank you very much. The feedback I've received that once Viv and Sean Mandel removed themselves from Shires cricket, I had a chance to become a legend. So, thank you. I've known Sean for a long time. I would have thought he would have backed me a bit better than that, but anyway. Something that I'm very proud of was this award, is that I've joined through my long-term and great teammates in Bruce, Trevor Davies and Paul Thomas. We're all here tonight as legends. We also have three others from the club that unfortunately are no longer with us. So we have a nice representation in the 45. Wasn't sure what to say. You can go different ways in this. You can I've heard a lot of acceptance speeches up here. I missed Todd's last year, but I've seen or heard most of them, and Viv's was very good. You can talk about yourself. You can talk about your club. You can talk about how things have changed, and I procrastinated what I was going to say, but it's all about teammates. I've found doing what you do is not a chore when you have a great bunch of people to work together with. And what I particularly enjoy is that you see young fellas coming through. They have left junior cricket, so they're 16. They believe most things that you say to them, which is was good, and then they grow up, and you wonder how they found a wife, how they've allowed them to have 2 children together or something like that. You have players in your club who are doctors, dentists, engineers, teachers, and you see them around the club and you think, wow, you obviously have a different side of things. So I thought maybe I'd, without sharing too many stories, but we've got 3 life members and they're here tonight. We've got a few more than 3 life members here, but 3 in particular, and I won't name them. But one we'll call the Commissioner, and he has a very important role within cricket at the moment. And from playing with him, his experiences and his efforts on the field and the way he conducted himself will allow him to judge fairly those that appear before him. So good luck if you get to meet the Commissioner. Second one we have is a well-respected member of the community, well known to politicians and the like. When I went to his 60th birthday party, and he was a pretty smart fellow. I didn't realise how smart he was and what sort of work he'd done through his job. And he ended up working in the Premier's department after he retired, just for a short period of time. But from that, those of us in the club will always remember him having one too many dresses and running nude through a New South Wales country town. And the third fella is our latest live member. So like I said, no names. One of those fellas, young fellas, 16 years old, been started with us, he's got married, 2 lovely daughters. He's ready for netball tomorrow morning at 7:30. We'd won a premiership, which was fantastic. So he decided to go to the balcony of Person's place and sing the team song, build it out to all of us that was behind. Well, he wasn't as dumb as the bloke in New South Wales country town, because he'd left his underpants on. So that's the sort of things that happen within a club, and there's generally alcohol involved. But some of the Shire's legends I want to mention that I've played against, and I looked at the list, there's quite a few, and we had a nice battles on the field. Some were not so pleasant. As we grew older, it became a bit more pleasant. And I'm pleased to say that, you know, the initial intake, I played against Tim Creer and Basil Bulford, and last year's I played against Todd, and a lot in between. And as president, you need to keep these avenues open, you need to be polite, get on well with the various presidents, because you never know when you might have to bring them up and say, "Oh, hi Mike, how are you?" Hey, good, thanks, Kev. That fire extinguisher that we let off in the chains in there. Sorry about that, but just send us the bill and we'll fix that up. And prior to that, a few years earlier than that, I had the pleasure of being Jerry. Jerry, that toilet bowl down at Ronald. Sorry about that, but just send us the bill and we'll fix that up, mate. Jared showed a little bit more humour in the circumstances of Michael, and not surprising, given what went on. So, the other thing I'd like to talk about is changes. Now, again, like I said, I've heard from a lot of the speeches and the like, talk about umpires and things like that's been done. So what I'd like to talk about is some of the changes that affected our club and how we play cricket. Sponsorship. So we have one fabulous sponsor over 10 years in Dulux, and we had another club there for quite a while. Club Rivers there at Riverwood. Now we've taken out both avenues at Oakley. The pub, you close at 12, then you move to the RSL because it stays open later. And if you look at our bottom line and you consider the sponsorship that we have received over the last 10 plus years, it makes a big difference. And without these sponsors, it would make it difficult to do what you would like to do. When I started, we didn't have sponsors. Helmets, Dave touched on those. I didn't have to use helmet, and as you can see from my hairstyle, I wouldn't have been able to soak up any of the sweat that comes out of the top of my head. So it would have just been running everywhere, and yes, Max has agreed to that. So it does, I don't know how I would have managed. So, but there is someone in our club that did wear a helmet because he wasn't the bravest opening batsman. But one particular time he needed his helmet and he didn't have it on. And that was when he was going out to toss the coin one day. And he was hit by a stray ball. And Bruce ended up with a fractured cheekbone. But he is a very smart individual, and he did do it at Westmead. So he was able to walk himself to the casualty. The other change talked about is prop box, and the photos that we see up there. So one of my other colleagues there, Trevor Davies, thinks he's a good sort. He thinks he was a classical batsman and a classical bowler. He hits and he was never out. So frog box. You know, you used to walk off. What was that the umpire thinking? I was halfway down the wicket. There's no way I was LBW. Well, now in frog box, your left leg hasn't moved anywhere outside the crease, so of course you're out of LBW. And clothing. We used to rock up to the game. We might have had our own t-shirt or shorts. Nothing to say who we were. We didn't know we were from Penadilla, Bexley, or whoever. Now, we have a shirt to go to the game, a shirt to go to the club, a coloured shirt to play in, a white shirt to play in with the club's name on it, blue pants, red pants, whatever it is. And my friend over there, Paul Thomas, has got about every t-shirt we've had since inception. And I was just talking over there on the table, and just before I started, Bexley celebrated its 50th year. So we've got another 4 years, and it'll be 100. So a bit of planning to do before then. And Tomo was there for the 50th year. God willing, he'll be there for the 100th. So we look forward to that. I've also been here and listened to some people talk. And the gentleman's got down, sat down, and sat next to a lady. And you thought, oh, he didn't mention her. I wonder who she is. So I assume when he got home and he hasn't thanked his wife for everything that she's done for him, he might have been in a bit of trouble. So, like Viv and his description of his wife, my wife would be fair to say very similar. She doesn't like cricket. She'll tell you that, but she's never stopped me from playing cricket. What she objects to is being on a committee. Before internet and apps and all this sort of thing, Bruce Whitehouse ringing me multiple times. This person doesn't want to play any longer. He's out, he's in Saturday mornings. How do you drop out on a Saturday morning? Seriously. So, her support, even though she dislikes cricket, and has been fantastic. I do love her. You probably don't tell your wife enough that you do love them. But thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for allowing me to keep coming to cricket. My daughter Amy is here, and she has it was have a go cricket back then, so she has a have a go cricket trophy. Somewhere tucked away in our garage. She had Belinda Clark down there. She was there with Ryan, and Belinda Clark wouldn't talk her into playing cricket. She took up dancing and netball. And given my future wife time in Canterbury Leagues one night, you're not a very good dancer. It's fair to say where the dancing Ryan. A lot of you will know Ryan. It's unfortunate you're in the opposition. He's not a very pleasant person to play against. When we had our presentation night, he announced this award for me. Spoke some very kind words and wonderful words. I'd like to thank you for that. So thank you, Ryan. So, lovely play, camaraderie, enjoying yourself on the field, having a good time off the field, at least a bad habit. I'll look at Sean Mantle again, with punting and drinking. When you wake up on a Saturday morning, you're not thinking, oh, isn't it nice, I'm going out to Whalen or Joe McNamara are playing those nice legs with Blake. What you're doing is you're thinking, great, I'm going out, going to see my mates, hopefully one of us will give a good performance today, and we'll have a win. But really, deep down, what you're thinking is, I hope I don't make a dick of myself and one of my mates does. And I won't name this fella, but he's probably not going to like it. But one day, a young bloke, he's one of our better cricketers in the club, opens the batting in first grade. Very good leg spin bowler. Be fair to say fielding's not his forte. And Ben Churchill was there with his camera, and catch went up, stand underneath it, get off wherever he was, and he made a move on it. And Ben captured it on film, on his camera. The boys made a photo of it and put it on his t-shirt, on the t-shirt. And Ben wasn't all that happy about it. He's smiling over there now. Now, if that was some of the others in the club, they would have owned that. They would have loved that. Because for that to have happened to them would have been fantastic. So why do I play? And why do I keep playing? It helps with his son. So a few of the blokes in the Shire's legends have also played cricket with their sons. And can I just say, it's tremendous to have that opportunity to play with your son. The last thing I'll say about Ryan, and to the horror of his mother, is that he has developed the traits that I have about the club, the passion, the love of it, the leadership, and most importantly the frustration of the unreliability of some of the players. It's been a tremendous opportunity, and to receive this award is fantastic. So thank you all for that.